to our channel, Loving Handcrafts by BMW. So I'm going to be starting off with a fresh canvas in Design Space because I'm going to show you how I did a bookmark. It's a magnetic bookmark. I've never made one before. I have some gifts that I'm making, and I made some mini notebooks, but it was for Mardi Gras and that has since passed, but I still want to give them out, but I want to make them more relevant. So I am going to be showing you how I put together a few images that I did, and one I did and one I got from Design Bundle. So I'm going to start off with the one that I have from Design Bundle, and then I'll loop back to the one that I'm actually making for my book club. So what you're going to need to do is decide on what image that you want to bring in to Design Space. So it could be an image already in Design Space. It could be anything that you're looking for. I had hot air. I'm not sure why I have it in caps, but you know, you can just play around with any image. This looks really pretty. I don't know why I'm thinking hot air balloon. Maybe, I don't know. Anyway, but you know, if you don't find an image in Design Space that you can use, because this will be a print then cut project, you're going to upload an image that you've either collected or that you've had in your digital stash. I had a little visitor come visit me. My little Penny wanted to go out. So I've had two images from Design Bundle that I'm going to upload. So firstly, I'm going to upload the one. I'm going to upload this one, and this one. And I'm going to add them to the canvas, and I'm going to show you what I wanted to do. Okay. They all came in pretty big. Well, the first image, if you'll notice, I'll move these out the way, came in, and I didn't want this white square because quite frankly, the young girl is hanging in the air. So I am going to delete that. So let's do this. Let me go upload the image again. Oops, I need to do a new image. Sorry. Upload. Let me grab another image so you can see what I'm talking about. I hadn't planned on doing it that way, but hot girls and hot air balloon. Let's take this one. Okay, so I'm going to continue. If there's a white background that comes up, and oh, she does not have a white background. Good. If there was a white background that comes up, then you would remove background. But we're just going to say it, and then that would take away the background. So we'll apply. I wanted to come in as a flat graphic. There we go. And then upload. Okay, upload. All right, so we'll do that because. All right, that's one. So there was a white background back there, and how I know is see how that flower is. You can see the grid lines. So what I'm going to do to cover that, and I'm just going to verify that that's the only thing. Yep. So I'm going to get a shape. So I'm going to just pick a shape here. Then I'm going to select a circle. I'm going to turn that circle white. Now you could turn it any color you like if you want the center of your background, but I'm just going to turn it white to keep it simple. And then I am going to move that, and I'm going to send this circle to the back, and then I'm going to cover it up. And then with the circle in the background, yep, while that is highlighted. Whoops, yeah. I am going to select the circle as well, and then I'm going to flatten both of those. Now that becomes a solid image, and now you can't see behind it. Let me move this out the way now. And then I'll do the same thing for this one. I should have just duplicated it, but I did not. But that's okay. Let's turn it from black to white under operations. Then let's move this, get it in the rough idea. I'm going to right click on my mouse, and then I'm going to send, no, what am I sending? Oh yeah, I'm going to send this forward. Yep, there we go. And then while the girl is highlighted, I'll highlight the circle and flatten that. Okay, let me move this out the way. So now I have my two different girls. I'm actually going to use these because these look nice. I'm going to move my young ladies out the way. And then I'm going to look at my sky. So let me zoom out a little more. Okay, there you go. Okay, so I don't want this rough edge because it's a little abrupt. So I am going to click another shape. Click on a shape. And I want this rounded corner. So I'm going to select the rounded corner. And then I happen to take a look at the dimensions of my square. Let's close that. Well, it's actually too big now. So it's like 12 by, keep going. I want it slightly smaller than my square that I have. So I'll just use this on my sizing to go down. Okay. So I'm going to put that square in here. So I've got my cloud background, which I'm going to overlay and put these on front, but I don't want the corners to be square. I want them more rounded for a softer look. So I've got my rounded corner shape. I'm putting it in front of here. I'm in front of the cloud. I am going to center them, and then I'm going to slice it. So when both of these are selected together, here and here, then I'm going to slice it at the bottom. And then I'm going to take away the excess, and now I have and I don't need those, so now I have a background that's rounded. So what I'm going to do is place my, and you can kind of do it like that too. I'm going to place my balloon, my girls in the balloon, in here. So now they looks like they're floating in the sky. So I'm going to make this a little bit larger just for this, just so I can get them proportioned correctly. So I'm going to stick one girl here, but before I start doing all of that, I want to duplicate this because I need two of them, and I'm going to duplicate it again because I'm going to work with that later. Okay, so I am going to take this. I am going to center her. I'm going to take this girl and I'm going to bring her to the front. So I just used it on my layer panel to move that layer up. I'm going to highlight both, and then I'm going to center. And then now they're both. Now this is still two separate images. So now I'm going to flatten them together because again, this is print then cut. So I'm going to flatten here. Now this is one layer, one panel. I'm going to flatten this one. Okay, so now you can see that. Now I'm cutting this on my Joy Extra, but it's really too big. So let me, and then I'm going to deal with this. So before I deal with this and before I start shrinking things, let me get everything in order. This is going to go on top of this. So remember, your bookmark has to have something in between. Now, you don't have to use this. This is going to be my in between to bridge these two. You can do whatever you would like at this point. I mean, you can use solid colors, you can use pattern paper, you can do whatever you would want to do, but you got to get these bookmarks together. So or these two ends of the bookmark. So before I do that, I'm going to take this image and then I'm going to flip it vertically. So now they're upside down, right? And they're in the right orientation. So when you fold it over from one side or the other, they'll be in the right orientation. I'm actually going to duplicate this. And then I'm going to actually do the exact same thing with this. So I'm going to flip this vertically. Because what I want to do in between my bookmark to bridge the bookmarks, I want to have my band, so to speak, in between the clouds in the right orientation. So I'm going to make these two together. Let's see. Let me align them vertically, and I need to make sure that they're kissing, like they're overlapping. Yep, but I don't want them to do that. I want them to be on top of each other because I don't want, let me see if I can get it right. Okay, yeah, perfect. So I'm going to now flatten this because I want this to be one big image. So let's flatten. Okay. So what I'm getting at is I want, whoops, let's send this to the back. I want one girl in hot air balloon to be here. And then I want the other girl in hot air balloon to be here. And then my clouds are bridging the two. But again, they're still too big. So let's figure out what size that I want these. Let me see. For us visually challenged people, I think I want these to be 2 by 2. So I want these to be 2 inches. Yeah. That's a pretty substantial size. Now you can go smaller. And now it looks weird because it's at 25%. But I just had it so big so I could see it before I made all of that. And then I'll make this 2 by 2. 2 by 2. Okay. Now if you feel that's too big or too small, you can make this an inch. You can make this an inch and a half, whatever you like. Now for this big guy, let's go back out. Let me zoom back out. I'm just going to eyeball it, and then I'm just going to shrink it in and bring it down. Yeah, that looks too big. Let's see. Let's make this, if that's 2, let's make that an inch. And then let's undo that, and then let's make that. So if I make it 6 inches long, then it'll fold by it, and when I fold it in half, it'll be 3 inches. That's pretty. That should be pretty good. There we go. And I'm sorry it's so small, so let's make it a little bit bigger. Okay, let's see what I got here. Now that looks weird, but we'll see what we got. And then this is where you can play with the dimensions. That looks, doesn't look, whoop, sorry about that. That looks really weird. Come on, come on. Okay, let me bring it up. I should be working over here. I have no idea where my stuff is. It's all over the canvas. Okay, let's just move you over here. How about that? Wow, I didn't realize I was that far down. Wow. Look at that. Hallelujah. I am so far over. just grab all my stuff and move it. If I can. I'm sorry, you guys. My brain can't take it anymore. It's like I'm so off the canvas. It's unbelievable. There we go. No, I'm too high. Because I really want you to see it. So I'm just playing with it. Okay, so let me go back. Here's my image. I don't know how I got so disorganized. Okay. To come back because I couldn't take it anymore. Okay. Now, yeah, that looks pretty good. Now, if you want this band to be a little bit chunkier, then you can go up a little. Let's see. Let's go up. Yeah, I want it to be a little bit chunkier. There we go. That way it don't be so substantial. Okay, so let's see. Let's get this lined up. So here's my band. I'm almost at 7. Let's see. That should work. And that should work. So here I'm at right here, about 7 inches total. Between here, here, and here. It's almost 7 inches. Okay, so that works for me. I'm fine. You could go a little bit longer if you like. So what I'm going to do, now that I have all those done, I am going to make sure everything's together, and then I want to align this. I'm going to go to align, and then I'm going to align vertically. So now everybody's straight up and down. Then I'm going to take this and make this one layer. Now I have my bookmark. Now at this point you can decide if you want to add a score line to score it in half. I'm not going to do that. If you wanted to do a score line, so if you were doing it on your makers, you could add a score line. I'm not, because I'm just making it on my Joy and I got a scoreboard, so I know how to, or I could just fold it in half. But let's say you wanted to add a score line. You would take a line there. I'm going to take this line and then I'm going to turn it 90, rotate it 90 degrees. Then I'm going to take the line in this, select all of the items together, and then I'm going to center the line. It was pretty darn gone close. I'll make sure I got it centered. Yep, I was pretty spot on with that. Then you can kind of decide if you wanted to move that in a little. Just a little. Not by much. It can be a little further over, so let's just recenter it. There we go. You still are, if you can't function, if your brain doesn't want you to do that, let's just go make it a little smaller, bring it a little tad. There we go. And it's just me playing around because my brain is not liking any of that. So I just got to have it at least looking a little better. Okay, there you go. So if you wanted to do the score line, so I would need to change this, because if I leave it like this, it's going to tell the Cricut to cut it, not score it. So I'd have to change my machine to a Maker 3 and then click on it and go back to basic operations and then just change it to score, and then there you go. But that's optional. I'll leave it on here. I'm gonna hide it because, again, like I said, I'm using my Joy Extra, so the little workhorse, and then I can just manually score it. Okay. That's the idea behind that. That's how you would make a basic bookmark. And then what you would need to do after this is get some magnets. You can do it several different ways. You can have your Cricut cut your magnet. So yeah, so you can do it that way. But let me show you what I ended up doing for them. I did basically the same concept that I did here. And here's my first attempt. And then this is my Mississippi Magnolia book club that I'm a member of, that I am making 2 sizes. So I basically taken an image. Oops, I've taken an image and I've done the exact same thing with this. I'm keeping it white, but at the top I added a text and an offset. And so I've got my little magnolias, my books, and then my coffee. For stability, depending on what you have, I went ahead and created a second layer. You can do it a couple of ways. Let's see if I could do you could probably do a offset, but you can, apply. And then there you go. You have it'll fit right on top of that. I'm sorry if I went too fast. That was basically an offset at 0, and then you can just apply it that way. And then there you go. You have it. And then because what you don't want to do, you don't want to have this flimsy, and just depending, let me do this, center it, and then there it goes. It's right on top of that. I can delete that. So what you don't want to do is have this be flimsy, and you need some backing. Now, me personally, you've got 2 options. I wanted to cover the magnet, but you don't have to. So I really wanted a white layer to go on top of and in between. So, and then I would just change that operation to a basic cut. And then it switched it back, and then I'll just change the color. So I wanted to have my bookmark, my magnet behind here, and then my to cover the magnet, another layer. It just depends on your aesthetic. You can leave it out with the magnets not showing, and then with the magnets showing, or you can cover them up. It just all depends. Depends on how strong your magnet is, because I tried to cover it up and it didn't work. So I'm going to bring you down to my work surface so you can kind of see, because I've cut everything out. I have not cut out the balloon girls yet, but I just wanted to walk you through the basic concept, because basically making this bookmark is the exact same steps that I made for here. So one moment and I'll bring you down to my surface. Okay, so I'm back on my work surface. So let me take you through my thought process. So these were my prototypes, right? So this is kind of flimsy, and so I was like, okay, well that's not going to hold up over time. Plus I didn't like the sharp corners, so I rounded them. And so you can see I had my Mississippi Magnolia book club sitting here, and if you turn it over here, and let's check out the size. So this was a little bit, like, not quite 7.5 inches tall. Okay, so I didn't care for that. Here I went ahead and rounded the bookmark corners, but I actually moved the name of my book club here, so when I folded it, you wouldn't have such a big white space. So if you can see the difference, like there's not that much white space right there. Okay, and then I covered it, I don't know if you can see it, with some of this holographic-y protection to make it waterproof film. Alright, so that was my thought. So then my first attempt was, well, here's my first attempt. Here's my first attempt. So you can't see the magnet sheet behind there, and there's in between there's this like a square magnet in between the 2 layers. But the magnet's not strong enough to hold, because I'm using some heavy cardstock. So this is the pretty heavy, substantial cardstock. So I was kind of disappointed in that. So I was like, okay. But I have some other magnets in my stash. So I said, well, let me do that. And I like this covered, but the magnet sandwiched in between there, and you can still see the magnet because I placed it wrong. So trial and error. This works. This is for me. I'm going to hang on to that one. This is the other style that you could kind of leave. I don't know. This is okay if you want that, but this appears to be more finished in my eye. And then you can always write a personal message in here. So, and you can also get your Cricut to cut these, or you can buy these in pre-cut squares. It just depends. Okay. So, back to the drawing board. So I went back and I was able to do all of my nice pretty cuts. So I got everything cut out, everything laminated. So I used this is I can't remember. I've got two kinds. I think this is Nina Solar White cardstock. I think that's what that is. So it's pretty heavyweight cardstock. I have my score board, so I'm going to score that. Then, if you like, I got this from Amazon. These are fine. They've got adhesive covering on the front, and then there's the magnet on the back. That's fine if you didn't want to. These are sufficient, and I would just cut these by hand. This is sufficient if you only want to not cover the magnet with an extra cardstock. To waterproof this, these are my laminate sheets, and I've already had a video on how to do that. And so all I did was cover my print and cut image, and then it cut them out and all together. So all I need to do is I need to score these. So I'm just going to fold these over just to get a nice crease, because I don't know the exact measurement. I just wanted to make sure I scored them in the right spot, not like last time. So let me get my head down in there. I think it's here. Looks like it's off a little. So let's make sure I'm in the groove. Then I just score it. So yeah, there we go. In the groove, and then I'm scoring. There we go. Then I'll do the same thing with this one. Fold it over. Just making sure. And then just kind of get it started. And then make sure I'm in between the groove. Like, yep, there we go. Now just score it there. And then the idea is to glue these together. So I have it. It's the idea. And then I have these. These I got off Amazon, and these are very powerful. So there's a positive and a negative. So, that little sucker popped somewhere. Okay, we'll have to find that later. Sucker popped out. So one. And let's just get these two out. So we'll do two at a time. Well, maybe not. See how strong that is? Okay. And so, because I put it too close to the bottom, when I did it the first time, I'm just kind of upset with myself because I didn't think that through. I'm just going to kind of stick it in the center. And then it'll be in the center, and then it'll be closed up. So that's my thought. Now, these are really nice. These look really nice. So you don't necessarily have to do that. But again, this doesn't feel substantial enough for me. If I decided that I didn't want to cover up the magnets, then I would just double up on these guys. And I might do it both ways, so it just depends. And I'm not sure why it's not 100% straight on top of each other. But these are nice dime looking, so it doesn't look unsightly, let's put it that way. But it's still, just to finish it off, I think I'm just going to cover them both. So yeah. All right, and then let me do, I thought I had, oh, maybe I do. I thought I had 2 of each. Okay, I do. I was playing with this one. So yeah, so let me go ahead and get all these folded and scored, and then I'll come back and for assembly. I'll be back. Okay, so I've got everything scored up and tidied. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take one of the plastic, the backer off this. I'm going to dab it with a little glue as well. Just give me a little bit of grace. And then I'm going to, so this is the way it's going to fold, right? Right there, like that, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to place this down and get it to where I want it. Then I'm going to gently, if I can with my nails, if I can't, let me get this. Gently remove the other backer from the magnet. Put a little glue here. And then I'm going to fold this back, right, so I can catch. And it looks weird. So let me make sure I get it just right. Because apparently, well, anyway. I'm just going to do that, okay? I can get it to stay. Because what I want to do, come on, thought it was going to work. Okay, there we go. There we go. I got it to loosen. Okay, just, there we go. Now, they're roughly in the same spot. And then I can attach it here. Anything that looks weird, I'm just going to cut. So now the magnet is hidden and sandwiched in between. It won't be 100%, but it'll be pretty good. And then I'll just glue it. And then there you go. So what I'm going to do now is do it this way. So I'm going to put glue here. So I can take my time. Glue on there. I don't believe there's any right or wrong way to do this, and I'm putting a fair amount of glue on here because I want to have time to get everything lined up on this side. And it looks like I got everything lined up as best I can. And of course, like I said, it's not going to be 100%. Now, that's why I kind of like the flat ones. It's not 100%, but it'll do. But it will do. So I'll fold this back on itself. Just get the glue everywhere I want it, and including on top of the magnet. And then this liquid adhesive is the Barely Art glue, which I got to get some more. I've had it for a while. So now, the reason I wanted to add a lot of glue is just to try to get it lined up. It's a handmade gift, so if it's not perfect, it's okay. And then there you go. Oh, that's a little off right here. like I said, I'm not going to worry about it. And then I'm just going to bring those two together. I'll carry my bone folder and just give it a little smoothing out. And I have a bookmark. And a pretty fairly strong magnet. The magnet is covered. And then that's my bookmark. I am enjoying this. It's a little off, but that's okay. Let me get it out. But I got a chance. I can put something in the inside, and that is really nice. And it'll actually hold the pages. If you have some substantial pages in between, it'll at least hold it together and like attract to each other. That is my bookmark. I'm excited about that. I've got a couple more that I'm going to do, but you've already seen me do. You got the thought process. So I've got 2 more to do. And I got to find that magnet. It dropped somewhere. I don't know where it's at, man. It's on my, it's probably attached to something. But I'll do the exact same thing here. Now, if you wanted to do the flat magnet here, this one, without covering it, like I said, that's sufficient. But to me, it didn't have enough hold, like strong, hold enough strong, like a strong hold. And I got this for other stuff, but I really like these, and I'll link to these that I found in on the Amazon, because these are really nice and are nice and strong. And like I said, you can cover them up, and then they still attract and snap in. Okay, so I am hoping that you like this project. I know you could have spent your time with anyone out there on YouTube. A lot of content creators are putting together some very nice, presenting to you some very nice projects, but I appreciate your support. So again, if you like this, please subscribe, comment, and again, we're on our way to getting to 200 and 100 and sorry, we're on our way to getting to 400 for the year. So I will talk to you soon.